What is going on, guys? Wunzy Gaming back here with another video. So this is the BM Hunter guide. This is the build I'm going with. This is the AOE build, actually. There's BM Hunters, they can be built and tweaked in two different ways. And this is the much more AOE style build. I'll show you guys the single target build after this one. But this is the AOE style build. This is very good for the first boss in Nighthold. It's also good in the second boss, and not as great in the third boss, but this is just the build that I'm going with for the AOE. Volley is really freaking sweet. And, you know, BM Hunters, I like where they're at. They're not, you know, fantastic. They're not, you know, crazy, but I really like where BM Hunters are at. Now, keep in mind, this BM Hunter is not, he's not massively geared. I think he's 876, or actually maybe even less, 874 area. But, he is BM, and that's the build I'm going with, 874 item level. I have a Safuza's Secret and the Voodoo Mask. I totally forget the name of the Voodoo Mask, but you see a huge spike in your DPS when Bestial Wrath is active, and it really goes down when Bestial Wrath is not active. Now with this build, this AOE build, your skill priority is definitely still Kill Command. Kill Command is absolutely the best ability that BM Hunters have. But you want to be using Displacer Beast whenever it's up, because you want your one with the pack to, I don't think it's even called one with the pack, I think that's what the talent's called, but I call it one with the pack. But you want to use the ability that, you know, reduces its cooldown by 100%. You want to use that whenever it pops up, whenever you can. And multi-shot, obviously, if there's multiple targets, you can keep Beast Cleave up, and then, you know, your Stomp and all that good stuff. And then, you know, Kill Command. Kill Command can take a little bit of a back seat if there is a ton of mobs. You know, you can absolutely take a back seat with your Kill Command. But other than that, if there's like 4 or 5 mobs, you definitely still want to be Kill Commanding in there. And then you have all that good stuff. So the benefits of this build and the benefits of BM in general are the pets themselves. You do your damage through your pet. It's a little easier to stay alive as a BM Hunter. Their mobility is extremely high. And what I mean by mobility for a range class, it's not their speed or whatever. It's just that they can move a lot and still do their damage. They don't have to sit still. You can literally do circles. Well, you don't really want to do circles because you want to be facing the enemy. But, you know, you can just run around. You can jump around and hop around. That's why I really like them a lot. You just kind of, you know, just jump around and hop around. They're really good. Now, the weakness of BM is its burst isn't crazy. Its burst is really good, but you do get focus starved. And in the single target build, because those of you guys that did pay attention to the 7.1.5 hotfixes and 7.1.5 itself, Cobra Shot got a pretty significant single target buff, and Way of the Cobra got significantly better with that. Like, Way of the Cobra got really freaking good. So on single target, you'll see that I switched to Way of the Cobra, and that's kind of where I go with that. All right, so here is the single target build. I'm not a huge fan of this build. I really like Way of the Cobra. Way of the Cobra is one of my favorite abilities. I just really enjoy it. Sometimes I'll even play it in that multi-target build, but Dire Stable sometimes feels like it's absolutely necessary. Dire Frenzy I really like. I haven't been able to really compare the single target side by side with Stomp and Dire Frenzy to see if it's really worth it to go into that. And I don't really know. Now, a lot of people, they say Blink Strikes is the way to go here. I really enjoy Bestial Fury because, like I said, you can really see that DPS increase with when you have Bestial Wrath going. The big thing here, Murderer Crows as well, and Killer Cobra. Now, Killer Cobra is one of those that I'm still not used to using. Sometimes it'll catch me off guard. I'll pop Bestial Wrath and I'll Kill Command and then Cobra Shot and be like, oh wow, my Kill Command came off cooldown really quickly there. That's amazing. Really, really stupid of me to do that. And you know, it happens, I'll admit. But the reason why you go with Way with the Cobra though is because we did get the buff to our Cobra Shot, and it just adds even more to that. Now it is kind of, it's not as good when you're running Dire Frenzy, and I already know there's people that say that, like, why would you run Way of the Cobra with Dire Frenzy? Well, I understand that that's hindering it because, you know, Way with the Cobra increases the damage for every guardian or pet you have out. I get that. I completely understand that. This is just a single target build. I prefer to use Stomp at Dire Frenzy, but I'm just going with, like I said, a pure single target build just to see what it does. I'm not, as far as optimal builds go, as far as the one that I enjoy the most, the build that I go with at 15 is either Dire Stable or Way of the Cobra. You can go either way. Anybody that says Big Game Hunter just isn't that great. It's really not. And I remember at the beginning of the expansion, everybody's going crazy about, Big Game Hunter. This was the original main that I had chosen, was a hunter. It was the first 110 that I got. It was this one. And, I liked it, but I ended up switching because the guild that I went to needed melee DPS. So that's the main reason why I chose Demon Hunter. So anyway, at 15, Way of the Cobra and Dire Stable is really just, it's those two. At 30, I prefer Stomp. Stomp, like if I were to go with my optimal build, it's 15 Way of the Cobra, 30 is Stomp, 45 is Post Haste, 60 is Bestial Fury, 75 is Binding Shot. I mean, honestly, Binding Shot is the only option there, let's be completely honest. 90 is Murder of Crows, and 100 is Stampede. I really like Stampede. I think that Killer Cobra is a fine ability. I'm just not a huge fan of it. It's not my favorite. I can do without it. Now, one thing I would really like is if Aspect of the Beast got a little touching up. I don't really know what they need to do with it. It just feels like it's so unplayable. But as far as Beastmaster Hunters, in the meta, I still think they're very, very well in the meta. Especially if you have the legendary mask, your survivability is amazing. Aspect of the Turtle, Exhilaration. I mean, it's great. I was going to say even the Spirit Bond, but that's a pretty terrible ability on our artifact weapons. As far as 7.2 goes, like I said, we haven't seen too many changes yet for the classes yet. The balancing patches haven't been telling us a lot yet, but I'm thinking here in the next coming weeks, we're going to get a lot of information about what they're doing to each class / spec, and I'm getting really excited about that. I just can't wait. So this character is LFR geared. I mean, and not, I'm not saying this isn't my main, but you guys were asking for a hunter update. And in my first hunter update was when survival hunters were the top hunter spec, and people lost their freaking minds. But it was true. They were. And I think in this fight, I only show the top 5 DPS. I was literally number 6. So I just stayed there. I couldn't beat these guys. 2 Ret Paladins, and then there's that rogue just being an absolute beast. But survival hunters were the top hunter spec when I did my first hunter build video. And that's just the way it was, guys. Like, people lost their minds. They were like, survival sucks. Like, look, I'm with you. I don't like survival. I don't like survival to this day, and I hear it's actually not bad. I just don't do it. I didn't roll a hunter to play a melee class. That's not why I did it. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope that you guys, if you aren't already subbed or liked the video, you can do that. You can do a little sub. But this is gonna be through the third upload, 3 nights in a row. I kind of wanted to do a little guide for each class, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that anymore because I don't really want to do a guide for Priest and Death Knight. Like, there are some classes that I just don't like. I'm not saying I'm an expert at every class, but there are some classes that I just honestly don't even know what their role is in this expansion at all. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, a better day than I've had today. Today was a very day, but I hope you guys do have a better day than I had, and I will catch you guys at the next video. Thank you guys for all the support too. You guys are freaking awesome.